Good morning. All right. Um, I was doing some reading this morning and I found a section that obviously I never really paid attention to it because I'm pretty sure I ran across this section before. Like I said, I read a lot of stuff and I'm like, that stuff don't apply to me. It don't apply to me. It don't apply to me. Anyway, so today, because I was reading along searching for a thing, and I started with the subject matter that I thought that I was supposed to be searching. And that just, well, you see my rose back there. Okay. So that brought me into, it brought me into other sections. So you keep reading, and you just follow the trail. You just keep jumping from one subject to another. So the few of you who are actually doing the reading, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, I wanted to address all of you people who think you want to do this, but you don't know if you want to do this because you don't know how you're going to survive in the world. Now, I did tell you that there is nothing that you can do inside of this grand scheme of life, bill paying and everything else, trying to keep up with the Joneses and whatnot. There is nothing that is not explained in this United States Code, right? All right. So, hello, patrons. If you have a birth certificate, you are considered to be a patron. Okay? So, patrons, oh wow, trons. Okay, trons. Wow. You go to the autonomous, they expect autonomons. I'm not saying it correctly. When they program machines and they expect for it to just be continuous and output of the same repetitive process all over again. Okay, your patron. They expect for you to keep doing it again and again and again. Okay, so patrons. Wow, these things just come to me. Anyway, they have pretty much stated I am reading from Title 26, and I believe it is called Subtitle A. Title 26, Subtitle A, Chapter 1, Subchapter T. Okay? I started reading this and it came across real technical, and I was like, I don't understand this crap. I'm gonna turn the page. I'm gonna go back and find some other stuff that I can more easily relate to. Well, remember how I said they started out with the bigness and then they bring it all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. So they make this grand statement and you're like, what the hell does that mean? And then they start explaining it. You're like, yeah, I still don't know what the hell that means. And then they start giving you definitions for each little thing, and then they tell you again, hey, this is what we just said, and you're like, oh, okay, well, that's just don't make no sense to me. So now the little words that were in the definition that did not bring it together, because you're like, I don't know what that word means, so now you defined it with the words that need to be defined. So now they are defining those words. Okay, so they're breaking it down. So now, after they've broken it down so far and you comprehend, they've made it so clear that you comprehend what they just said in the first sentence, in the heading, the title. Okay, so now they've broken all these little things down and they've repeated it so many different times that you now have a clear vision. It is impossible for you to not comprehend the subject matter. Okay, so now I have gotten to a point where they were giving me a lot of terms. I didn't comprehend these terms. I kept reading. So what I found was they are telling you exactly how to work out your billing. Every time you get a bill, it's not a bill. It's a fucking check. You went to the hospital. They sent you a $36,000 bill. That's not a bill. That's a check. These things are amazing. Now, I'm really fucking mad because when I moved in with my boyfriend, his stupid ass allowed a lot of my boxes to fall off the back of the damn truck. Yeah. So anyway, this motherfucker lost all my bills. I really have no bills. And because I've been doing all of this processing shit, bills stopped coming to me. So I have some shit from way back in the day. I don't know if I can reconcile those or not. But the really fucked up thing is like in the last 3, 4, 5 years, 4 years, I haven't been getting any fucking bills. Like I'm really fucking mad right now. So all of you people who haven't started this process, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, and you've got fucking a ton of bills sitting around, laying in drawers, stuffed under shit in couches, on a fucking table somewhere, stacked piled high up in the corner somewhere. Your mailbox is over. Bitch, be happy. They are sending you money. Go get those shits. Now, this is what I read too. They said when you get your paycheck, you add your paycheck. And then you add all those bills that they sent you. You just add those shits. You put all of those shits in there. Now, what you can't put on there is if they have sent you not a bill, but they done told you, hey, you violated the courthouse or the rules or somehow and blah, 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 blah. You can't include that shit. Okay? Now, there's a reason why you can't include that, because you have to go back and you have to let them know that you are competent in the law, and that shit is not really supposed to be affecting you in the manner that they have given it to you. Now, it does affect everybody because some of these people actually belong to the United States because they are products of United States laboratory processes. Okay? So, those people belong to the United States. No matter what, those people are United States citizens. Okay, so those people were created. Yakub, that story might be a kind of a lie because I believe it's some alien process shit. Yakub might have been one of those fucking aliens. Anyway, he was a dude, so anyway, so and you know they're not giving any credit to anybody that was originally one of us unless there was really a problem and they was pissed off about that fucking problem and they was saying we ain't having this fucking problem no more. That's the only time one of us gets credit. All right, so if they giving Yakub credit, Yakub was one of his. All right, so now okay, so some of these people are United States things. They just belong to them, lock, stock, and barrel. And some of us do not lock, stock, and barrel. We just don't. Okay, but their asses came here. They have now put our shit into storage and everything is all separated. We don't know where the fuck our shit is, but they have a record of what they stole from who, where, and when. Okay, so now we're gonna follow these processes because now we're all inside of their little system and they consider us to be patrons of their system. All right. Now, okay, so go and file your little fucking paperwork, okay? But for you people who haven't filed your little fucking paperwork, get all those checks that they are sending you because those are checks. That is money that you are to cash the fuck in. All right, then you grab this section here. Now, I was going to read part of it and everything, but the reality is I don't want to read it. I don't want to read it because I haven't thoroughly read all the way through it yet. And I'm pissed off too because I don't have any fucking bills. Now, I'm still going to read the whole damn thing because I do have records of spending. Those records of spending can be accounted for, and those records of spending, those receipts, all of that shit, those things can be all tallied up, sent off to the fucking IRS, and they'll send you back some fucking money. Now, when you put your record, your birth certificate on the record, and you start filing through the IRS and everybody else, everything else, all these different offices, letting them know where you are choosing to stand. okay? Where you're choosing to stand, how you're choosing to be viewed in the system, okay? Like, I will not be viewed as a black person, okay? It's not because I'm not proud of my skin color. I love this skin. I love this Egyptian beautiful skin. I do. I love it. It is beautiful, beautifully well tanned, okay? Beautifully well melanated, okay? And then the tan just makes them more beautiful, okay? But I'm not going to be identified as a black person. I am an Egyptian. Because black means you have no protections under the law, under the legal system. You have no protections. None. If you have not filed your birth certificate on the record, it makes no difference what color your skin is. You are black. So you running around talking about, I'm black and I'm proud. But guess what? That Celtic motherfucker that didn't put his birth certificate on the record either, that Irish motherfucker, he's black too. So don't be hating on him. Don't go out there and be fucking prejudiced and racist against him. Because if you're politically black, he's unregistered too. He's politically black as well. Do you get that? Black is a political point. If you're black, then they're black. This is why Black Lives Matter. They had a whole bunch of white people out there fighting for black lives. Okay. So, learn what the United States is saying in their media. They own that media. I don't care how many private individuals proclaim to be the owners. They are in league. They work for, they're contracted with, through, by, and bloodlined the United States. Okay. So now that we've established that, they will tell you anything that will not give you a proper outcome. All right, so in the media, the Black Lives Matter, they are telling you, hey, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, because they think that their lives matter. As they are United States people, they're not living under a treaty of a nation. They are living under the rules of this gang organization, this cartel organization, the United States. That's their God. They worship money. They are in everybody's nation stealing all of the resources. Not part of it, not just taking a little bit. Hey, don't notice what I'm doing. They're stealing all of it. All of it. No people of nations have any control over their nation. None of them. Not a one. Anyway, now, okay, so now getting back to this bill pay. All right, you patrons out there, you patrons, you have to learn to pay your bills. You have to account for your bills. So this section, whenever it gets down here, subchapter T or whatever it was called, I got to open my thing twice because I got securities on here. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, this section, and let me tell you the numbers of them, okay? It's going to be 1381, 26, chapter 26, or title 26, and it is going to be subsection 1381. So when 1381 starts, you're going to be confused. You're going to be like, this dumbness. And I told you, sometimes when I can't keep reading silently, I'll start reading out loud in order to make certain that I am not skipping over words so I can bring clarity into my own mind, because maybe I'm just too many different things are bouncing around in there. When you start reading out loud, all those things that are bouncing around in there, they go away. They can't stay. You can't focus on the two. So, unless you stop focusing on the read. Okay, so anyway, that's how I got through the first few sections. because it was giving me womp, 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 and it did not make sense. But like I said, it starts real technical in the beginning, and then it'll give you an explanation that you don't understand. And then it'll keep explaining and it'll keep defining each one of those words in there until you start to grasp what the root meaning is. So then you're like, oh, this is what they're introducing to me. Now you have to let them introduce each little section. Let them break it down, let them break it down, let them break it down. And when they broke it down and you are grasping the roots, then you're going to go back and reread it because they've already told you what they're doing, where, how, and why. And it was going in, Now you're going to go back and read it and you're going to be like, whoa, you're going to do what? You're going to do who? It already says I'm exempt. I'm not going to do that. And then you're just going to be like, okay, what exactly do I have to enact for them to accept that exempt status? What exactly do I have to enact? Now, okay, so paying these bills, no matter what, you're already being punished because you didn't register anything. Remember, I registered. So this bill paying process, they ain't been sending me no bills for a long time because they don't want me to fucking have nothing. And I live with a dude too, so everything's in his name, so he pays for everything. So I'm not getting bills. I don't have any fucking bills. Y'all are lucky as fuck. Anyway, so you grab these bills, you read this section, you let this section start making sense to you. You start grasping those roots, and then you go and you find that CFR section, that state statute section that relates back to this United States Code, because this is the United States Code, okay? This is not the CFR, this is not the state revised statutes, but you're going to read this entire section here. And then you're going to go over there and open that up. And then you're going to read that whole section and you're going to be like, okay, I see how they're relating here and I see how it overlaps and how it intertwines. Now I got to figure out how to make these things go so that these things can get interacted, so that this can be here well concreted and sealed tight. So I can get this part going. So now I've got another section over there where I got to go over there and read it all, make it all come together. And then I got to see how they interact together. And then I got to get this part sealed up properly. And I got to get this part sealed up properly so they can interact. And there it is. And now I've got one other part of this whole big fiasco solidified. Let me put that to the side and go on to this extra part, because that's what I'm doing and that's what you all are going to have to do. So for all of you that are afraid, that don't know how to act, for all of you that are living in a wealth of bills and don't know how to supersede them, get past them, doing it this way, reconciling these bills this way, will work your credit situation out. So all of you that are listening to credit repair gurus, stop complying inside of the system that allows them to get paid. You don't have no payments. You don't have no money, because there ain't no such thing as money except for gold and silver. And unless you're wearing it around your neck, you probably don't have any. I don't have none. So I'm not talking down to you. I'm telling you for real, what's going on. I just have the common sense to embrace these realities, because I don't ever tell anybody that I'm living high off the hog and I'm getting over and da-da-da-da-da. I'm not running around bragging about the shit that I do. I'm really happy when I do the shit that I do, because I know that I fucking compiled that shit through long and hard process. Because like I said, I don't like to owe nobody, so I don't go out there begging and borrowing and trying to stay fucking relevant. I just don't. I don't give a fuck. But that's just me. That's how I roll. A lot of people don't roll like that. Everybody likes to be relevant. Everybody wants to be special. At least a whole lot of people do. So for all of you special, relevant people out there, go ahead. Free yourself from obligations to other people's by not asking them or getting them to help you, or trying to get over on them so that you can get up to a better, higher position. Just go ahead and roll out with this little section and stuff. Grab those bills. Keep your relevant ass home out of people's face for about 3 or 4 days, and go ahead and grab those bills and pay them up. Throw them on into the mail. Then you can take your relevant ass back out there while you wait for that shit to take effect. Some of it, they're going to drop a little bit of money into your accounts. Some of it, they're just going to zero out whatever the fuck they tried to say that you owed them. So now they've got stuff saying that you owe on your credit report. And then all of a sudden they have to be like, oh, nope, they don't know. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know. Now, these are natural they don't knows. So you still got the income that you got. And you don't owe those things. So your debt to income ratio, debt to income ratio, is that your FICO? I think that's your FICO. So your debt to income ratio just went up. Or it went down. It went down. It just went down. Your income went up. Your debt went down. So your score went up. Or your income stayed the same. Yeah, your income stayed the same. Your debt went down. Your score went up. All right, that's what it is. That's what it is. Something has to stay the same. Something has to be at zero. Okay, so now you just, because you're doing it like this, you're eliminating bills. You're still getting up, going to work and doing all that thing, but you're eliminating bills. You just eliminated your car payment. You just eliminated your credit card. You just eliminated your rent. You just eliminated your, what else you got going? Your mortgage. You're supposed to eliminate your mortgage already because you put it on the damn record. But, hey, if you didn't, and you got a recurring bill that they're sending you, the fact that they're sending you a recurring bill, that's money too. That's money too. Because they're not supposed to send you a renegotiation. That's a renegotiation. They just started a whole new part. You're like, motherfucker, I didn't ask you to fucking renegotiate some shit on me. They said each party has the right to do so, but you're the major party. So you have a right to veto all of that shit. And it's not even called a veto, so don't even do it. I'm just saying some crazy shit. But you have a veto or a right to just be like, that bullshit ain't coming in here. We already had an agreement, and you all want to stick by that agreement. Now we don't have no agreement. You changed the agreement. I didn't. Fuck you. I'm keeping my shit. You have that right. You need to read this to figure out how that right kicks in. And the section that I just gave you, that is the beginning of the opening of all of the money stuff. It's the beginning of the opening, because the United States said, hey, we're going to do this. And then they went back to all their little states and they said, hey, all right, look. Individually, this is how we're going to figure out how to accomplish this in our state according to what our people already know, so we don't upset that shit. We don't want more people to know because we don't want to call this a disturbance. So we're going to stop the more people from knowing by just going ahead and inserting this as easily as possible so no one takes notice of what's going on. That's what they did in each state. Now, then they laid out an administrative code or a set of procedures and standards. And they said, this is how we're going to go ahead and say that all of it needs to be done. This is our process because we're the administrators. But when you put your shit on the record, you become an administrator too. All right. So now you've grabbed up all of that information and you're reading that information and you're like, oh, okay, we'll go ahead and send this form in, let them know that this is a new number that now gets attached over here to this thing, and we're no longer going to be going by that number over there, but we're going to be referred to as this number right here. When you start telling them to refer to you in a different number other than that social security number, other than that EIN, that is when you start to become foreign. And you're not even all the way foreign yet. You're just a foreign corporation. You still got to be a foreign independent person because you started out as a corporation. You were already domestic as inside of the United States. That's what domestic means. You're inside of the United States. So you are domestically a corporation. All right? So in the United States, you're a corporation. Domestically, you're a corporation. In the United States, domestically, you're an individual. You have to get that number. That's your EIN. All right. So now that you have this individualized number, now you're going to be like, okay, and as an individual, let me really tell you who my individual is. Now that I put these papers and stuff on the record, I'm a soul. I'm a soul. That means it's not possible that I belong to the United States because I'm a soul. I was long in existence prior to the United Organization coming together and creating out how to overtake and stronghold the rest of the world and shake them by their pockets. I was in existence. So, it is not possible for me to be of the United States. I am not of the United States. I was in existence prior to that. So now they're going to say, oh, shoot, you're right. All right, well, you're something different than the United States. We still have to identify you. Let's just give you a different type of number. All right, because we're still doing business with you because obviously you haven't gotten free of that. So now you are a corporation that's over there that they're doing business with. You're no longer domestically over here. You're like, oh, no. They're over there doing business with us over here. Now, once you get over there and you're doing business over there, you're going to be like, yeah. So, as you are the United States entities bringing business towards my direction, and I'm over here, I am inside of my nation. You're still inside of a corporation. How in the fuck does a corporation come to me and demand anything of me? So now everything for real is beneath you inside of this corporation. You're standing outside of it and above it. And you're saying, no, this is wrong. All right, so this is my conclusion. I'm coming to these decisions, blah, 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 blah. Because inside of the book of rules, and these aren't necessarily United States rules, they become foreign rules. The rules basically of your nation, which is mine now, ends up being the universal law. Okay, so yes, Egypt does have some set of rules somewhere, but I haven't necessarily found those. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't read them yet. Yeah, a lot of stuff I haven't read. Anyway, so, but it comes back down to somehow being in their universal law. So now I'm thinking, okay, well, how is it that I am going to say that you're violating me? Now that depends on the scenario. How are you violating me? Which scenario am I working against right here? Okay, so we started out this one saying the scenario that we're working against right here, right now, is these bills. And I said some of these bills are not reconcilable because they're not really bills. Like, let's say that they gave you a charge, notice of violation. Okay, so they give you a notice of violation. That is not a bill. It cannot be reconciled like that. You got to go to court. But for these ones that do, you got to open up these little things and you got to say, hey, look, how is this applying to my situation? So now they're going to start teaching you which things can be rectified in which manners, which ways. Now, like I said, I haven't finished it and I haven't read it. But for all of you people that are out there, you're at home and you're trying to figure out how do you get ahead of those bills that are crawling up your butt, this is how. So let me go ahead again and I'm going to tell you this section because you guys listen to me rattle on and everything. Some of it I got off subject matter, but I really stayed on the subject matter because I need you to know all of it works together. All of it comes together. So all right, again, I'm going to tell you what this subsection is. This is 26 USC, Subtitle A, Chapter 1, Subchapter T, Cooperatives and their patrons. You 501c3 people that are so excited to be getting that tax deduction, you are a cooperative. You're a cooperative. I really hope that you comprehend that that makes you one of them. You have to cooperate inside of their systems. You're obligated for the participation that you are participating in because you have made yourself somehow maybe not a beneficial receiver of that stockyard that they participate in and they take ownership and they get those dividends back. But You are funding, helping to fund them. You are saying, yeah, no, I don't want to take my money out. Go ahead and reinvest my money. And while I don't comprehend that I'm still inside of the system, I just know that I don't have to pay as many taxes as I had to pay before. I'm getting that tax break, and I'm really, really happy about that because that helped me buy my new house, my new truck, and blah, 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 blah. So I'm really, really happy about that. But I did not realize that now that I pushed myself into that higher income bracket, I am now being more scrutinized and pushed and bombarded to take parts in the system, because now I'm rubbing elbows with these people who are taking part in the system, and they know that they are doing dastardly things. Well, they're not going to tell me that they're bad, shitty, horrible people. They're just going to be like, come on over here and have this party with us. Come on over here and do this party with us. Come on over here, take part of this little investment opportunity with us. They're not telling you that you are buying and trading souls on the market. And that's so much than trading bodies on the market. And you're trading bodies too. You're participating in slavery. So even when you're getting up going to these jobs, you're participating in slavery because you're helping this company, this corporation, to continue to stay in business with all of its affiliations and participants and participations. So, but you're not really getting judged for that because you're like way down here stupid on this totem pole. But when you start making that money and you just start chasing that money, and not for the sake of paying these bills so that you're happy, your family can be happy and stable, but for the sake of flashing and bragging and finding a new little coochie that don't mind letting you in because you've helped out a little bit of her situations. And she's just like, well, I'm dumb down here and I don't know any better. You're not trying to grow her mind and feed her like that. You're just trying to be like, hey, let it make it easier for me to get up in there. Now, a lot of girls don't see that. They just think, oh, he like me, he paying my bills, he doing stuff for me, he buy me anything. It's so nice. You know, it's like 4 of y'all, right? This is why I never told nobody that nobody was my man. It's like 4 of y'all. So, why are you telling somebody that this motherfucker is special? Feel happy that all of your shit is paid for and that you're able to move on to the next step in life because you've handled some bullshit. But for real, I'm trying to tell you to read this shit so you don't have to do none of that shit. Because that nigga is just got 4 of y'all. He don't give a fuck about you. You're not special. When you special, you won. You ain't special. Now, that's a whole lot of these girls that need to feel special. I ain't felt special in a long motherfucking time. I ain't felt special. I stopped feeling special when I was a kid. So none of these motherfuckers have ever impressed me. Sometimes I just realize I'm working with a situation that wants to really work with me. That's some mutual shit. I like mutual shit. I love mutual shit. Mutual shit is some wonderful shit. But a lot of these motherfuckers is out here trying to play you. They want you to feel good and they're not growing you. I know this. I talk to a lot of motherfuckers. A lot of fucking penis owners have told me, I want my daughter to hear what you say, but I want you to stay the fuck away from my girl. Don't never talk to my girl. Those motherfuckers don't know. That is the best fucking compliment ever. Because you are letting me know that I'm already outside of your fucking pool. You are never going to bother me because you accept that my mind, my mentality has superseded all of your physical desire bullshit. Because you say a lot of pretty things. Anyway, so I retain my spinal fluid because I can see through the bullshit. It makes it easier. And I did tell y'all earlier, I got a boyfriend, or I had a boyfriend. I had a boyfriend. I don't have a boyfriend no more. He's really not been my boyfriend for a very long time, but he just really left. So, y'all ladies gotta learn to wake up. Learn to wake up. Because there is so much that hasn't been given to you. So go ahead, reconcile these bills. Reconcile these bills. Give yourself about 4 or 5 days to read this information and to start grabbing and pulling all of those checks from around your house, from stuffed in those drawers, under those beds, in those boxes, in those desks, in those drawers. You know what? Go ahead and start grabbing all of that, girl, boy, man, woman. Grab that stuff. Grab it, grab it, grab it, and do exactly what these things are telling you to do. Because you're a patron. You're inside of the system. You are giving to the charitable organizations. You are giving to the fees and the fines. You're giving to all of that. But you have a certificate that says that all of your shit is paid for. So if it's paid for, then just go ahead and find out exactly what you're supposed to write on those bills and checks in order to make certain that they are reconciled. Make certain they are reconciled according to the legal system, not the law. These are just legal processes. Go ahead, reconcile your bills. Spend your days learning this stuff, figuring it out. And as soon as you get those things reconciled, you can breathe. And then you can figure out how to be nice to some people because you're not overwhelmed anymore. You can breathe. And then those people that you see as being a problem because they're costing you money, just be like, okay, let me tell you how to figure out your fucking problem, because you're not going to cost me any money. You're just getting on my nerves because you're bringing your problem to me. You can go ahead and stop them from bringing that problem to you by you teaching them how to do this. That's how good shit spreads. So go be some good shit to somebody, because I've been some good shit to you.